Oh my goodness! Can you believe this? Did she just do that? Honestly, I can't even believe you people.
They said she was a fool, the most beautiful girl in Umuna village, choosing a man who owned nothing but a trowel and a prayer. They laughed at her wedding. They laughed at her mud house. They laughed every time they saw her at the market. Even her own mother cries in shame. But 6 months later, nobody there laugh anymore.
Chief,
3 men came for Adaize's hand in marriage. Chief Okonkwo, who owned 4 houses and drove a Mercedes, he is in his 50s, wearing expensive agbada and gold chains, sitting with legs wide open like he already owns the room. Mr. Bartholomew, at the other hand, who had a government job in Abuja, a younger man in a suit, and lastly, Emeka Nwosu, who came with a Bible, a letter of intention, and exactly nothing else. Emeka in his late 20s, wearing simple clean clothes, sitting upright with quiet dignity. The parents look impressed by the chief and barely notice Emeka. Then the father of Adaize, leaning toward Chief Okonkwo, impressed, and he said, "Chief, your family is known throughout this state. You honor us." Then Chief Okonkwo, waving dismissively at Emeka, saying, "Who invited the bricklayer?" He is referring to Emeka, the 3rd man who came also for her hand in marriage. Later that day, Adaize came into the room standing firm in the middle of the room full of shocked family members. She is pointing at a humble young African man across the room, Emeka, who looks equally surprised. Around her, family members have wide open mouths, dramatic expressions of disbelief and horror, hands on heads, some women covering their faces. Not quite long, Adaize's mother, grabbing Adaize's arm, horrified. "Adaize!" she shouted. "Have you lost your senses?" Adaize looking, calmly and clearly, she said, "I choose Emeka." Chief Okonkwo, the big man with blue cloth, standing slowly, pointing at her. "You will regret this." He shouted, "Write it down. She will regret this." Adaize, looking him directly in the eyes, and said, "Only God can judge. God will be the judge of that chief." The next day, Adaize and Emeka walking through the market with dignity. 3 market women in colorful Ankara clothing spot her and burst into loud laughter, holding their bellies. Also was Chief Okonkwo's with his shiny black Mercedes, drives slowly past, the chief visible through the window looking at her with a smug smile. Then one of the market women, loud enough for everyone to hear, then she said,
There goes Madam Bricklayer. How is the mud house treating you?
The second woman added, wiping tears of laughter. She said,
She chose love. See where love has put her.
Every week, same market, same laughter. Adaize walked through it like it was nothing, head high, back straight, because Emeka had told her something on their wedding night. Ada, God told me our story is not finished yet, just keep walking. By evening, Adaize and Emeka sitting together on a simple mat, sharing a small meal, laughing quietly about something. The room is modest, patched walls, simple furniture, but their faces are genuinely happy and full of warmth. Their life was small. Some nights dinner was Gary and groundnut. Some months the rent on their single room was a struggle. But something strange lived in that small house. Something the big houses in the village seemed to be missing. Adaize, while lying on Emeka's shoulder quietly,
Do you ever regret it?
she
That
asked,
your life could have been easier?
"Do you ever
Easier is
regret
not
it,
always better.
that your life could have been easier?" Emeka, smiling, looking at the ceiling, he said back, "Easier is not always better. I would choose this. I would choose you 1,000 times." The next morning, Emeka is alone outside at dawn, kneeling on the red African soil beside the mud house, hands clasped tightly, face upward toward heaven. He is wearing simple work clothes. His face is intense and full of faith. Every morning before sunrise, before he picked up his trowel, before he did anything, Emeka prayed.
Lord, I am not asking for riches. I am asking that you prove yourself faithful. Not for me, Lord, for my wife. She chose me when everyone said I was nothing. Let her never regret that choice. Whatever it takes, Lord men. Whatever it takes.
Good afternoon, we are with the government. We need to survey the area. Welcome, welcome. We've been expecting you. The road needs attention. We have the maps here.
On a Tuesday morning in March, 2 government vehicles drove into Umuna village. Nobody knew what they wanted. A convoy of 2 white government vehicles pulling into the village, land cruisers with official markings, village people stopping to stare. A group of men in hard hats and official vests stepping out holding maps and survey equipment, looking around. Village elders rushing out to greet them.
We are building the new Anambra East Expressway. We need to acquire land along this corridor here. We understand, but we must discuss the terms with the community.
Then the contractor, spreading a large map on the hood of the car, speaking to the village head, he said, "We are building the new Anambra East Expressway. We need to acquire land along this corridor here." After he finished speaking, the village head also, studying the map, then slowly looking up with wide eyes, he said, "This land here, this belongs to the Nwosu family." Not quite long Emeka, standing in the middle of a large open field, his family land, looking at a government official holding a document toward him. Emeka's mouth is slightly open in shock. Behind him, a daisy stands with both hands covering her mouth, eyes wide. The official is smiling professionally. Other government workers are taking measurements. Then the official, quickly called Mr. Emeka Nwosu, he said, "This land your family owns sits directly on the path of the new federal expressway. The government is prepared to make a full acquisition offer." Immediately, Emeka, barely whispering, "How much?" he asked.
How much?
Then the official, handing him a document, he replied, "The figure is on page 3. Emeka read the number. Then he read it again. Then he looked at Adaeze. Adaeze, while reading over his shoulder, voice shaking, she called, "Emeka." Then Emeka, looking up at the sky, tears forming, he said slowly, "You heard me. You actually heard me." News travels fast in a Nigerian village. By Thursday morning, everyone knew. A large crowd gathered. Men, women, children, market women in colourful Ankara. In the centre, Emeka and Adaeze walking through the crowd, now well dressed. Emeka in a fine traditional agbada. Adaeze in stunning Igbo bridal attire with heavy coral beads and gold jewellery. Both walking calmly and gracefully. The same market women who laughed are now staring with jaws dropped, hands on their heads, expressions of total shock and disbelief.
Is that Adaeze? The same Adaeze we laughed at in this very market.
The same road, the same market, the same Adaeze. Only now the silence was deafening. Here is what nobody expected. Adaeze did not change. One day, Adaeze stopped at an elderly market woman's stall, buying pepper, chatting warmly and laughing with the old woman. Behind her, a brand new Toyota Land Cruiser is parked, her driver standing beside it waiting. But Adaeze is completely relaxed and normal, treating the market woman like a friend. She still came to the same market, still bought from the same women who mocked her, still greeted the same people who laughed. Then Adaeze, to the old market woman warmly. She said, "Mama, how is your knee? I brought you the medicine from the pharmacy." The old woman replied, holding Adaeze's hand, emotional. She said, "My daughter, you have not forgotten us." Adaeze asked, smiling, "How can I forget? This market made me strong." The same year, God lifted Emeka. Chief Okonkwo's businesses collapsed one by one. Bad contracts, a business partner who stole from him, a court case that drained everything. He is now sitting in front of a closed shop, his agbada wrinkled and worn, his gold chains gone, looking defeated and small. His Mercedes is no longer there. A few people walk past without acknowledging him. He stares at the ground. The man who drove through the village laughing at a bricklayer was now sitting in front of a closed shop with no car and no chains. God had not forgotten. He never does. Chief Okonkwo had come to ask for help, business help, financial help, from the bricklayer. Chief Okonkwo, standing at the gate alone, cap in hand, looking humble and broken. A security guard has gone inside to announce him. The chief looks nothing like the arrogant man from earlier, smaller, older, humbled. Then the gate opens slowly. Emeka appears in the doorway, calm, well-dressed, no arrogance on his face, just quiet strength. Then the security guard, coming forward. He said, "Oga says you should come in." Chief Okonkwo, struggling to meet Emeka's eyes. "Emeka!" he shouted. "I said things. I did things. I am not proud." Emeka, putting his hand up gently. He replied, "Chief, come inside. Let us eat first." He helped him, not because Chief Okonkwo deserved it, but because Emeka had learned something in that small mud house that no amount of money could teach. Emeka, while they were eating, he said, "Chief, God does not lift us so we can look down on others. He lifts us so we can reach back." Chief Okonkwo, eyes wet, nodding slowly, he replied, "I have been a proud and foolish man." Emeka, quickly stop him. "Listen, we have all been something we are not proud of. The question is what we do next." The next day, Emeka and Adaizi, standing together outside their village beautiful compound, overlooking their village.
Adaizi never said "I told you so," not once. Because she had learned something the village hadn't, that God's timing looks like foolishness right up until the moment it doesn't.
Do you remember what you told me on our wedding night?
That our story wasn't finished yet.
You were right.
She chose a man with nothing. God turned that nothing into everything. Not because they were perfect, but because they were faithful.
They will laugh at your choice. They will laugh at your faith. Let them. God is not finished writing your story yet.
If this story blessed you, share it with one person today who needs to hear it. Subscribe for a new faith story every week, and drop a comment below. What did they laugh at you for that God later turned around? We want to hear your testimony.